Hey there, I'm the Thoughtful Husband, and today we're going to talk about distancers. Just a little bit of review. Distancers are part of the pursuer-distancer pattern. They tend to be on the responding end or on the brunt end of this whole thing. They often experience a lot of this, the criticism, the nagging, the demanding, and they feel very disrespected and like they just can't win. And I will add, the more that this happens, the more there's a sense of hopelessness and anxiety. Hopelessness because I'm in a relationship, don't know what to do, I don't know what to not do, I just feel stuck. I feel hopeless, I don't know what to do, I just can't win. And anxiety, meaning I'm with this person, it's like they're judging me all the time, even for doing little things like sitting on a couch, like taking a break, taking a nap, coming home from work late, coming home from the bar late. I'm constantly judged, constantly criticized. There's this sense of anxiety. I'm always thinking about something like I have a officer or a mom who is judging me and noticing me what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. And so they often feel like they're powerless. And here's the weird thing is actually distancers are more powerful than pursuers. The reason for that being is that the pursuers are actually in the vulnerable position. They need their needs met. That's why they're doing all this stuff. The distancers actually have the power to meet that need. They actually have the power to, if they meet this need, none of this happens. None of it happens. Something that they don't understand, it doesn't even feel right, is you are more powerful. You actually can make all of this go away. You can actually reduce the conflict, but what you need to do is, well, A, you need to be proactive. Being proactive means I'm going to take a form of leadership. I'm going to identify the problem, figure out the solution, implement the solution, right? Oh boy, date night didn't go so well. Now she's mad at me, now she's disappointed. I'm just gonna wait till this blows off. I'm just gonna wait till she cools down. Oh, finally the conflict is gone. That feels good. I don't know when the next conflict is gonna happen. Don't do that. Don't do that. Date night didn't go well. What can you do to make it go better? What if you start the conversation? Date night, hey babe, date night did not go so well today. I want to do better dates for you. I want to love you better. I want to make it better for you. It was okay for me maybe, but it wasn't good for you. So what would be a better date? Let me start that conversation. Let me be proactive. I'm going to go to you before you have to come to me. That's how this works. That's what this is. Right? I'm not the distancer anymore. I'm going to go to you. I'm going to try to solve this problem before it happens again. You know what? Date night was a wash. Kind of sucked. Well, the last gift that I gave you didn't land very well. Wasn't meaningful. You kind of hated it, right? So what am I going to do? I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that mistake, that past, that, miscommunication. I can do the next one. I can do the next one better. I can do much better. And in fact, if I do better, maybe none of this will happen. That's where I want you guys to think. And by the way, just in case you didn't catch from the last one, distancers are mostly guys. 75% of the time, maybe about 3/4 of the time, I see that guys are distancers. They're typically pursuers in sexuality and sometimes respect, those kinds of things. A lot of times they are the distancers then. And they often feel kind of like a child in their own home sometimes. The disrespect can be very heavy and very unforgiving and very just not great. And it can feel like it's just beating you down, like you're not even in charge of your own side of the relationship. You have to be told what to do and then you do it and then you don't get credit for it. And you give up. You just can't win. Well, this is how you negotiate this. This is how you work around this. Second thing, be responsive. What does that mean? It means sometimes your partner, your lover, your spouse, they're still going to do some of this. This is natural. This just kind of comes. It's not a plan. It's not intentional. It's just, I feel vulnerable and desperate. I need to express that. I'm just saying words. They're coming out of my mouth. You're getting the unfiltered version. Be responsive. And what that looks like is the moment one of these happens, you're not going to be able to stop it. And do not say anything down here. Don't do anything down here. Don't be defensive. Don't just sit there and endure the conversation. Don't say, oh, calm down, calm down. Never say that, never say that, never say that, right? What you can do is you can match that energy. Oh, you're upset. Sit down. Sit on the couch. Let's talk about this. I'm going to give you my full attention. I'm going to listen. I'm going to shut up for about 15 minutes and just listen to whatever's going on, right? And why does that work? She doesn't have to fight to be heard. She doesn't have to fight for you to hear her. She doesn't have to fight for you to care. It already looks like, I care, I hear you, I'm paying attention, let's solve this together. That isn't what distancers do. Distancers don't do that. You should do that. Don't be a distancer. Be somebody who is responsive. Be intentional. Intentionality is it's such a key for so many men to learn in relationships, but especially if you're in the distancer position a lot of the time. Being intentional means you do everything on purpose. You don't just show up. You don't just show up to your house after a day's work or on the weekend and just go, oh, I'm lucky kid again. I could just not plan anything and not do anything. And whatever happens, happens. And then, oh, I guess things aren't going so well. Intentionality is so important. Show up to your house like you're the CEO of the place, like you own the place, like everything in this place that you live in, you're responsible for, and you care about it. Do you actually care about it? Maybe not. You might not actually care about it, but at least have some form of an opinion. Be intentional. I like to tell, especially my guys, show up to the house like you're some kind of celebrity. Show up and go and hug and kiss your kids, pet the pet, go straight to your wife, spend about 5 minutes connecting with her. You're setting the tone. You're getting everyone in the house to anticipate you coming home and for it to be a good thing. Do you have to be in a good mood to do this? No, actually it kind of sucks sometimes. You don't have to, but it helps. It helps to show some enthusiasm. Be intentional. Make plans. Set meetings. All of this stuff that maybe you do at work and you're really good at, use that. Why don't you use that? Your home life is actually more important than any career or any workplace kind of thing that you're going to do. It's going to last longer, it's going to carry you into your old age, and it's going to disrupt your peace if something goes wrong, especially if that thing going wrong is this person over here nagging the shit out of you and criticizing you and lecturing you, right? And don't get angry, be intentional, be thoughtful, be thoughtful. Don't avoid conflict as if you could. You can't avoid conflict. The conflict actually comes from a real place over here. Vulnerability, desperation, I don't feel like I'm a priority in life. What, do you want her to just forget about that? Do you want your spouse, your lover, to just forget about how much they need you? Do you want it to just be a relationship of convenience? Or are we doing something more here? I think we are. Don't avoid conflict. Actually, it's better if you start the conflict yourself. If you start it yourself and you start it right, it's probably going to go better. Don't wait for her to start it. When she's started the conflict, it means that there's desperation and vulnerability already creeping up, and what you finally see is she's starting the conversation when she's probably at the most emotionally heightened. Maybe after a few drinks, maybe after you upset her, or she's just been brewing, who knows? When you start the conversation on a Saturday, when nothing's happening, you got some time to talk, it goes better. Is it fun? No, it's not fun. But you either have the right conflict at the right time with the right conversation, in the right mood, and it is effective, or you just wait for the worst possible time to have the conversation, and then it blows up, and then, oh, you get the relief of not having that conflict, but just knowing another one's coming. How fun is that? Try doing that for 20 years. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let your yes be yes and let your no be no. One of the things that distancers are definitely guilty of is that when the pursuer is just pissed off at you, just really going at it, you'll say whatever it takes to just make that person happy, to placate them. You will. You'll say, oh, I'll do this. Oh, I'll do that. I'll go to brunch. I'll go and visit your parents. Okay, I guess we could go to the mall. I guess we have a date night. And if maybe you don't even really want to do that thing. Maybe you're not even intending to do it, and then you just seem double-minded. You seem fake. You seem like your words can't be trusted. Don't do that. Let your yes be yes, and your no be no. Anything else is from the devil. That's what the Bible says. From the devil. Yes be yes means when I say yes, it means yes. There's some passion. There's some ownership to that yes. And if I can't say yes, I have to say no. And I have to pay the price for that no. But if you can't say no in a relationship, you're already in trouble. If you only do what makes the other person happy or makes them not upset or not pissed off, you're going to have a hard time in that relationship. You're going to circle them. You're going to revolve around them. You're going to be aware of what they need and what they don't need. And shoot, how bad of a job you're doing or how hopeless this feels. How fun is that? Do you want to do this for the rest of your life? Or do you want to keep doing this and then the relationship ends and then you do it again in the next relationship and you say, oh boy, why are they leaving me? I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, but you didn't do anything right. You don't get credit anymore for working a job and coming home and not cheating and not being violent. You don't get credit for that anymore. Modern relationships do require more. They do, because there's more walkaway power. We're not in it for survival necessarily anymore. What are you doing? What kind of love are you showing? When you're sitting on the couch and she really bugs you for doing nothing, it's because you're doing nothing. Now, if you're intentional and you say, hey babe, it's Saturday morning. I'm going to do this, and do you think we should get some stuff done? And then I'm going to watch the game, right? That's different than, I haven't made a single decision all day. I'm just waiting for the game to start at 4, right? What does she see? Oh, gosh, so much stuff that needs to be done. So much stuff that needs to be done. And he doesn't even seem to care. He's not even noticing. Either I have to bug him and motivate him to do it, or I'm going to have to do it myself. Do you get that? Do you see that? I have this phrase that I often play in my own mind. Anything that I don't do falls on my wife. Right? Wives especially are biologically geared to see problems and perceive them, and then it will bother them until they fix them or it get fixed. Right? And if you're in a happy, clappy, I'm just laid back, I don't really care, I'm just enjoying life, oh, just don't bother me kind of mode, when there's things to do, when there's a family to run, when there's family business to attend to, of course she's going to be pissed off at you. Of course. And she should. You're not participating. You're not leading. You're not doing anything. And you might just think, oh, I'm sitting on a couch. I can't even sit on a couch in my own house without being harassed. Yeah, but what else did you do that day? Right? Communicate better. Tell her what you're going to do. She may not agree with what you're going to do or not do. That's fine. It's your schedule. It's your time. You decide. But when you decide, make sure it's intentional. Make sure it's not just, oh, I don't want to make a decision today, so I'm going to get on my phone. Don't do that. Don't do that. Number 7, identify and meet your lover's needs. And these are needs. They're not wants. They're not little requests. They're not, oh, it would be nice. Especially for ladies, especially for pursuers, even guys. Love equals security. If I'm with somebody who does not love me and love me well and love me on purpose, why am I here? That doesn't feel safe. Everybody in this world needs love. They need love to survive. And the crappy thing about it is they can't make it happen. All they can do is choose the people that they're around, and they can love people on purpose. Right? So, identify and meet your lover's needs. If what they're into is gifts, find out how to be a good gift giver. It's not about the price tag, it's about the intentionality and the thoughtfulness behind it. If your lover is somebody who just likes quality time, I'm just going through the 5 love languages, guys. This is all really, really stupid basic stuff. Make sure that you're intentionally spending time with her. Sit on the couch, watch a show. Turn off your phone. If she's somebody who likes that words of affirmation, give her praise. Point out the things that she's doing. Oh, you're a great mom. Yeah, thank you. The house looks really clean. This is awesome. Hey, you're slaying it at work. Look at that. You got a raise. That's awesome. Yeah, do that. Do that. Set boundaries on conversations. This is especially true if you are married to somebody with a trauma history or very domineering personality, because this can be heightened. And I'm not an advocate of long conversations. I'm talking some of these relationships that maybe you've been into or you've heard of, it's 3-hour conversations. It's, oh, I'm being woken up at midnight to just solve this relationship problem because I had an insecurity. No, that's not healthy. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for her. Don't do it. Set boundaries on conversations. I recommend, if you're in this kind of a relationship, you say, I'm only willing to participate in a conversation that's 30 minutes long or less. Any longer than 30 minutes, what are we doing? Is 3 hours of talking going to help? Only if it's going well, only if we're making progress, right? But 30 minutes, if I think 3-hour conversations are the norm, I'm going to avoid them. I don't want to participate. And I'm going to think that, man, even if I am responsive, I'm going to get stuck doing the 3-hour conversation, and I'm going to be afraid to leave, because then the other person might say, where are you going? We got to solve this. Why are you running away? Don't run away. Set boundaries. 30-minute conversation max if you're in this kind of relationship. And if somebody starts throwing language your way, insulting, accusing, just all this kind of nasty stuff, you don't have to sit there and take it. But I wouldn't want you to fight back. What you say is, I don't want to be treated that way. Or you could even say, and I love this phrase, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. Right? And then walk away. Don't participate in that form of communication. Last thing is, I would say, get in your mind that this relationship, this long-term monogamous relationship, is an investment. It's not a transaction. You don't get credit for doing something right. If you're getting credit for doing something right, or if you're wanting credit, you're doing it for the wrong reason. The goal here is be a good husband, be a good wife, be a good spouse. Be that. That is in itself its own reward, and it's an investment. If you be that, you're more likely over time to see an increase, to see the love start to flow your way. Will there be bumps in the road? Yes. Yeah, but what happens when you're only loving as a transaction? What happens when you take her on a date night and it ain't the right date night, and you were just hoping to get something out of it? Right? Are you going to go pout and run away? Are you going to get angry and just let the hopelessness overtake you? Are you going to do that? Does that work? Or are you going to make increasingly better and better decisions over time so that your relationship gets better and better and better, and that the fights go from every day to every week to every month to every year to almost never, because we figured each other out? Do you see that? I want to tell you guys, my heart goes out to all you distancers out there. You feel so powerless, and you're not. You're not powerless. You actually have more power in the relationship. Start exercising that power. Push through the anxiety. Push through the hopelessness. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Could things be any worse, maybe, especially if you're in a high conflict relationship? No. You have some self-respect. Have some self-love for yourself. Right? Don't allow yourself to be treated by your spouse in a way that you don't want to be treated. Don't fight with them. That'll cause you to treat them pretty badly too. And don't do any of this stuff. No defensiveness. Don't just endure. Don't avoid. Don't blame. Don't make excuses. In fact, one of the best things you can do, literally the best thing you can do, is be proactive, be intentional, make a decision of what you're going to do, and then quietly do it without saying a single word. The best husbands that I've ever seen, and frankly the best wives too, their words have weight. They say they're going to do something, they do it. They don't talk about what they're going to do or not do. They don't try to get credit for their good intentions. They quietly do it, and then the other person sees it. And that's a person you can trust. That's a person who has leadership skills. That's a person you don't have to make them hear you. You don't have to motivate. You don't have to teach them. You don't have to pull rank on them. They teach themselves. They learn themselves. They're self-led. Be that kind of person, and don't put up with any mistreatment. Don't put up with it. It's not a good idea. Well, I hope I've been helpful today. I hope I've been encouraging and giving you guys something to do. Try all 9 of these. These are 9 things you can do. Try over the next week or 2 and leave me a message in the comments. What did you do? How did it turn out? How did it go? I want to hear from it. If you try some of this stuff and it doesn't work, I want to hear that too. Right? Love you guys. Do the best you can do. So for now, I'm the Thoughtful Husband. Take care, everybody.